Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is Raspberry Reads. It is very cold right now as I'm filming this. We're towards the end of November and we've had a cold snap in the UK, so I thought it was the perfect time to think about winter reading. And today I want to share with you some recommendations for atmospheric reading that you can read throughout the wintertime. Not all of these books are necessarily set during the winter, but they provide a sense of escapism and definitely an atmosphere. And you'll see what I mean as I go along, because atmospheric is interpreted in different ways. So let's just jump right into it. Many of these you've probably heard of before, and you've probably also read some of them. But in any case, my first recommendation is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I read this a few years ago now, and this is a very atmospheric book. It feels almost dreamlike in quality. There's an element of mystery to it. There's also elements of magic in it. And it's all about this night circus sort of traveling around and a competition of sorts. And yeah, so the circus is Le Cirque de Rêves. So this is the circus of dreams, and it is only open at night. And you've got these two magicians, Celia and Marco, who have been trained since childhood expressly for the purpose to duel. And this is, without spoiling it, is also a love story. So I loved this book. It was, as I said, it was very dreamlike. You're sort of just floating along with it. And it's a great book to sit all cozy, maybe by a fire with a cup of tea and just sort of savor the writing, which is very good. So yes, if you've read The Night Circus, do you agree that this is a good book to read during the winter? Another book that I haven't thought about in quite a while is Michael Ondaatje's In the Skin of a Lion. I read this in sort of a quest to read more Canadian literature, and Michael Ondaatje is most well known for writing The English Patient, so he's a Canadian writer. So The Skin of the Lion, In the Skin of a Lion is also a love story, much like The Night Circus. It is set during the 1920s, I believe. Yeah, 20s and 30s, set in Toronto. And it says that Michael Ondaatje entwines adventure, romance, and history, real and invented, enmeshing us in the lives of immigrants who built the city of Toronto and those who dreamed it into being. And I just remember this being really thought-provoking about aspects of privilege and an immigrant experience. And from what I remember, and I hope I'm not mistaken, there's a very powerful scene in this book about being near a frozen lake, which is what made me think of this being a suitable book for wintertime. Again, it's not specifically set in winter throughout it, but there is a winter scene. And yeah, it is a reflective book and it's an atmospheric book. And I really enjoy Michael Ondaatje's writing style. It's quite poetic. So again, another book to savor during the winter months. A book that I finished not too long ago, and it was a reread, is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. So this is a really obvious one as a winter choice. I mean, in this particular edition, you've got the Queen in the back, a nice snowy scene. So yes, this is set in Narnia in the winter time, and it's the perfect winter atmospheric read if you're reading to children, or if you want to read it to yourself. Lots of adventure, lots of mystery, and I want to say a Christmassy element, but with a twist, and if you've read it, you kind of know what I mean. So yes, I suppose this is a recommendation for younger readers or if you're reading to children. I would be remiss not to include Still Life by Sarah Winman on my recommendation list. So I recommend this book a lot. It is one of my favorite books. And again, it's not set specifically during winter, but there is a fantastic Christmas scene in it. And it just gives me like the warm, fuzzy feelings. There's a lot about relationships and sort of like shared memories, and a very, again, contemplative book. It is a bit of a chunky one, but it is lovely to read during the winter season. And I would say this also provides an element of escapism if you're wanting to think about maybe enjoying fine Italian cuisine in warmer climates than if you are struggling in the wintertime. So an escapism element as well. On the same vein as that, I wanted to recommend Miss Benson's Beetle by Rachel Joyce. So Miss Benson's Beetle, again, is not set specifically in winter, although I think there is, some of the book is, but this book is about Miss Benson and her companion who end up going on an adventure to a tropical island, searching for this particular type of beetle. And so again, it offers that element of escaping into the novel and immersing yourself in a tropical location, albeit it wasn't a very comfortable one for the characters, but still provides that sort of warm climate alternative if you are chilly at home. And again, it is a really nice book for being lighthearted, focusing on themes of friendship and love. Yeah, just sends lots of really nice and positive messages at this time of year. And that's why I would recommend it to you. Changing tack a little bit, I thought I would recommend Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Again, this shows up all the time on people's like reading lists for wintertime, and it's not specifically set in winter, but it's very dark and mysterious and haunting. And I read it at Christmas one year, so I think maybe that's why I connect it to Christmas as well. But I did enjoy that reading experience. Again, snuggled up by the fireplace, making my way through this novel and really taking my time. It's not, I would never classify Rebecca as like a beach read, let's say. It's more of a to be savored winter read. But yes, if you've read Rebecca, do you feel the same way? Otherwise, I would like to recommend to you Metronome by Tom Watson. So I read this book a couple of years ago. Metronome is a speculative fiction. I suppose a little bit of a psychological thriller, and maybe a little bit dystopian, but not too much. Yeah, mostly speculative, and it's about these people that are on an island, sort of like serving a prison sentence from what I remember. But yeah, it's just a weird book. It's such a weird book. So if you want to go on a little bit of like mind adventure, where you don't quite know what's going on in the book, then I would recommend Metronome to you. From what I remember, I think there was a lot of inclement weather in the book, and that seems fitting for this time of year. Equally, if you like to read things like mysteries, there's so many cozy Christmas mysteries. I'm not into that sort of thing, so I wouldn't recommend them to you. The mysteries and thrillers that I tend to enjoy tend to be by people like Lisa Jewell. So if you're looking for a thriller to read over the wintertime, I would recommend The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. I've read a few of Lisa Jewell's books. This one's really stuck with me. It's about Tallulah, who's a young woman and a mother, and she disappears, and there's this whole mystery as to, what's happened. And yeah, it's really stuck with me. So if you're looking for a mystery or thriller, then why not try The Night She Disappeared? And then I thought I would finish with two books that I'm currently reading. So I'm about halfway through The Book Thief, and there are certainly parts of this book that are set in the winter. You've got it, it's set during the Second World War. It's narrated by death, so it's a very sort of dark and moody book. there are elements of it being seasonally appropriate. And again, it's a reflective book, something that would not be appropriate in my mind to be sitting and reading on the beach. So now it seems to be a fitting time to read this sort of late autumn, winter. And I am enjoying my reading experience with this. I am taking my time. It is very interesting in terms of how it's formatted. And I think I explained in another video that I started reading this as an audiobook and then ended up purchasing a copy. And I'm glad I did. I'm sorry, not audiobook, ebook. And I'm glad I picked up the physical book because I can really appreciate the style elements of like physical illustrations, different bold font there. Yeah, so there's a sort of a stylistic element to this book that I feel like I'm appreciating more as a physical copy. And I take my time with this, curling up on the sofa with a cup of tea on occasion or reading in bed. And last but not least is a book that I haven't started yet, but I know that it's appropriate for this time of year. So this is The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke. I was going to recommend Piranesi, which I do, and that would be appropriate for this time of year. But out of Susanna Clarke's books, I feel like this one is the most appropriate. I don't know very much about it other than it is a short story, and it is spooky or haunting, and it's set at Christmas time. So I'm going to read this one in early December, and then I can give you my thoughts on it in the new year. But I expect that it is the perfect type of book to read at this time of year. So those are, I believe there were 10 books from me to recommend to you to read during the winter months. If you had to suggest one book to me and to my viewers to read during late November, December, January, which book would you recommend? It can be any genre, fiction, nonfiction. It can be one that's not necessarily your favorite book, but just one that you think is the most suitable for reading during the winter months. I would love to perhaps do a second video where I'm collating recommendations from you, and so that I can review those books myself if I haven't read them. So I hope this video has given you some inspiration on what to read in the coming months. And as always, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading, and I will see you soon in a new video. Take care. Bye.